Alright, so this is my 2015 900S. A few things done to it. Start with the cage. The cage is built by the previous owner. 4 inches lower than factory. So it's not chopped down too far, so you can still have pretty good visibility. He also built the front and rear bumpers, which are tied into the cage. And along with the bumpers, he built the tree bars. I really like how they're built. Used to run in Volkswagen rail buggies, and that's how the tree bars are set up on those. Keeps your back tires from getting caught up in a tree. Keeps your side panel from getting up in the rocks. Around the front, we've got a Backroads 4,500 pound winch from Royal King. Cheaper winch, it works. I don't have any problems with it. I am going to be switching over to synthetic rope soon. A-arms are from Super ATV. They are the high clearance arms with 1.5 inch offset front and rear. Puts me out a little longer. Springs, those are from Race Tech. The heavy duty springs. Adds a tender spring in the front. A little stiff, but with the extra weight of the cage and the gear they carry in the back, they seem to even themselves out. Tires are 30 by 14 inch motocoils from Rocky Mountain ATV. I bought these used with the wheels. The guy said he bought them as a package. Had them on 1000, but they fit perfect on this. They allure a little bit offset from factory, which puts me out wider. It's kind of nice, puts me out to 64 inches over factory, which is 60 inches. Makes me a little bit more stable. Move up here into the cab. Since the cage is lowered a little bit, I'm a taller guy. I can't put a helmet on under the cage, so I went ahead and bought some seat lowering brackets, dropped the seats down. Give me about 2 inches of headroom. Perfect, so I can still put a helmet on and ride. Then over here, I usually carry a 10-inch tablet with me to run my maps on, music, things like that. Just a cheap mount from Amazon. I want to upgrade to a better mount, but for now it works. The radio is Boss Audio. Also picked it up off Amazon, just a cheapo Bluetooth head unit. It's got an amplifier that mounts up in the dash in here. It is 4-channel. Right now I only have 2 channels hooked up. These are marine grade Infinity speakers. These came with the machine. They sound okay. Don't have a lot of bass. But they're mounted in PVC caps. They're bolted to the top of the cage. The previous owner made these. They work out great. I've hit them with a power washer a few times on accident. Never got any water in them. They haven't hurt the speaker at all. Switch panel. Picked it up on Amazon. I got a fan override switch. There's my light bar switch, a reverse light, and the radio. And this connects into a fuse and relay panel up under the dash. I'll show you a picture of that here. I didn't like running everything off the factory bus bar. To me, it just seemed like too much load on that, so I went ahead and threw in some fuses and relays for the accessories. I do have a horn. The little white button down there on the dash is for. That's more just to annoy people, but it's fun to have. GoPro mount. This is just a roll cage universal mount from Tractor Supply, I do believe. Found these quick mount pieces on Amazon. Just take a 1/4-20 bolt, bolts down to it. Gets a pretty decent view. I do have a clamp on mount. I don't have it on here right now, but I do have a clamp on mount so I can change angles if I need to. Go around the back. Same on the back. Race Tech heavy duty springs, Super ATV high clearance arms. This is the bumper he built with the cage. That's also tied into the cage. Pretty heavy bumper. Back here, got the cooler. Just a Lincoln Outfitters cooler from Royal King. It's kind of like a cheaper version of a Yeti. Doesn't hold ice as long. Still keeps ice for about 2 days, which is fine for me. But it's cheap enough. I don't care if it gets damaged out in the trails. I also carry a few straps and a couple shackles. Got a smaller shackle and a bigger shackle. This strap here is just a short tow strap. I use it for a tree saver so I don't have to wrap my winch cable around a tree. Saves on your winch cable and keeps you from tearing the trees up. And this DeWalt box. Picked it up, also picked it up from Rural King. This is what I carry all my gear in, tools, things like that. A couple of spare parts. It's all packed in there nice and neat. I'll pull everything out of that here in a few minutes, throw it on the table and show you all what I carry. And that all mounts on this metal bracket down here that the previous owner made. Boat plugs that bolt up to it and they slide down in the lock and ride holes. That's in there real nice, and this just bolts down to it. And you come up underneath here, you see the nuts sticking down. You just tighten those nuts down, snug up the boat plugs. Keeps everything nice and solid. Reverse light. This has been on like everything that I've owned. It's been on the rail buggies that I had. So I just kind of keep throwing it on everything. I'm pretty sure it's off an excavator. I know it's a Caterpillar. It's bright. It's kind of nice because it's rubber mounted. So if you back into something, it's just going to move. It's not going to break off. But that's pretty much it. Not much done to it. Come around this side. Oh, good light bar. Again, it's just a 20-inch, 24-inch? 20-inch. I don't remember. But anyway, it's a light bar. It's bright. Not really much to say about it. All right, so I'll get this table set up. Open that box up, dig everything out, and show you what all I carry on the rig. All right, so this is everything I keep the box on the rig. Start off with the air compressor. Slime brand from Walmart. Cheapo, but it's small, fits in that box really nice. Along with that, I have a tire plug kit that actually came with the compressor. Just do it in this little zip up pouch. But also in here, I like to keep a tube of RTV. Never know you pop a bead off on a tire. This will help kind of seal it and try to get it back on. A little messy to clean up afterwards once you get it fixed, but better than nothing, get you out of the woods. Next, in this little ammo can, this is a cheapo picked up at Harbor Freight. Took the lid off so it fits underneath the tray. In here I carry some wire crimpers, some wire strippers. Along with those, I carry a little bit of wire. This is just a roll of trailer wire. Not very heavy, but if you need to fix a fan wire or something like that, it's nice to have. I also keep a little piece of 10 gauge in case you need something heavier. Along with the wire and the crimpers and strippers, I keep this little plastic tray. In there it's got a roll of electrical tape, some odd and end connectors, fuses, and a couple extra relays. Back to the tub, I also keep this light. This was a 4-inch light pod that broke, the mount bracket broke off of it. So I drilled it out, put a bolt in the back of it, ran the bolt to a clamp so you can just clamp it anywhere. Got it hooked up to a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug. Kind of nice. Small, works, fits in the box really well. Allen wrenches, metric and standard. Some of the aftermarket stuff on this is standard, so I keep a set of standard sizes, and then most of the factory Allens are metric. A couple different sizes screwdrivers, a number 2 Phillips, and a number 1 Phillips, and just a regular flathead. Let's carry a small crescent wrench. Along with this one, I always take this bigger one with me too. Don't quite fit down the box, so it just goes on top of the tray. Couple different pairs of pliers. Got some needle nose, pair of Lyman's, set of slip jaws, set of side cuts, and a little smaller pair of needle nose. It's coming handy for pulling fuses out. And then the spanner wrench that comes with the RZR. This one won't work on my clutch. My clutch is an aftermarket clutch. It doesn't have the relief hole to take the pressure off your clutch with this tool. Mine, you actually have to pull the bolt out. So something we'll pick up is just a cheap battery powered impact to keep along, so I can take the bolt off when I need to change the belt. I do carry a belt. It's down by the driver's seat in a little cubby hole strapped to the bars. Also, something else inside of there that I don't have out here on the table is a first aid kit. I got pulled out and restock it because unfortunately it rushed last weekend. There was an incident. Wasn't nobody in our group, it was somebody else, but they got hurt and we had to use some things out of it. That's what it's there for. All right, so moving on. Get some of this stuff out of the way. This ammo can, it's one of the small metal ones. And here's where I keep a lot of the wrenches, ratchets, sockets, things like that. Just a couple cheap sets of wrenches, standard set, set of metrics. And in these pouches, this one's metric, just assorted sockets. There's 3/8 drive, 1/4 inch drive, 1/2 inch drive, just odd and end sizes, the common sizes you need for your machine. If you want me to dig more into what sizes I carry, drop a comment and I'll do that. But this is going to vary depending on what kind of machine you have. In this pouch, standard sizes. Again, common sizes, 1/4 inch drive, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 drive. More common sizes that you need. And this pouch, a little bigger one here. It's got 3/8 drive ratchet, 1/4 inch drive ratchet, odd and end extensions for 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. A couple swivels too. Swivel's nice to get your side cover off of your belt. And then 1/2 inch drive ratchet. Got an extension in here. It works just perfect to take my lug nuts on and off. One thing that I don't have in here I need to put back in because I was working on this is this RZR has these aftermarket wheels on it, and they take these stupid lug nuts. I hate these things. They strip out, but unfortunately, the way the holes recess back into the rim, you have to run these style lug nuts. And if you lose the key, you're screwed. Also carry this little plastic tray. Assorted nuts and bolts, washers, other fasteners, a couple throttle return springs. I know I don't typically need those for a RZR, but they're in there. Move on to the tray. This tray, it sits on top. Of course, it keeps zip ties and duct tape. Two most important things to keep is zip ties and duct tape. You get yourself out of the woods with just those two items. I also carry a few extra lug nuts. I've had to change tire down the mud hole and lost the lug nut. Just keep a few extra just in case. AA batteries. I have a little flashlight that I keep in the glove box. So I wrapped up some AA's with electrical tape, throw them in here in case I need them. Cotter pins. You ever change axle on wood and break a cotter pin? It's nice to put these back in. You can run them for a short distance without them, but there's a chance your axle nut backing off and you're losing your axle nut, and I'll run all kinds of problems in. So keep a few of those. A few hose clamps. I've had the trim off end of a hose because it was leaking, so it's nice to keep a few hose clamps around just in case you break one. Of course, valve core remover. Low pressure tire gauge. Again, I think the valve core remover, other than the stem, because I keep it screwed onto a valve stem so I don't lose it. But I think this stuff actually came with the air compressor and the tire kit, if I'm not mistaken. Cheap tube of lithium grease. I think I got it at Harbor Freight, if I'm not mistaken. Just for odd and end stuff. I actually broke a shifter cable. Had to fix it with a beer can and some duct tape. And I put this on the inside of it to keep the cable from dragging on the beer can as it slid back and forth. And 12-volt tester. Of course, that's self-explanatory. That's about it. If you see anything in here you got some questions about, just drop in the comments. And also, if you see something that you think I should be carrying that is not in here, feel free, drop a comment. Let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. But for now, that's it.